Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video we're going to be looking at some immersive VR. I'll be doing some demos and pointing out some different things in the VR headset that really stand out and help make the experience that much more immersive. So the main intention of the video is to just highlight these things, which might make for some good discussions in the comments as well. In the first part of the video I'll be analysing and discussing different aspects through the headset, and later on I'll feature a flight in the area through the 2D translated version. This region of Peru is probably one of my favourite areas to fly around. I'm using a combination of both the default weather settings and the SoFly Weather Preset Pro. I'll spend some time looking at different aspects of the VR flight and how they combine to create such an immersive experience. And I'll share some of my other tips and tricks with you that make the VR experience even more immersive later in the video. So make sure you stick around for that too. So here you can see an external view of the Andes Mountains as we fly over them in our TBM. I see no pop-ins, no kind of distortions, and no morphing. And I just love seeing the low clouds scattered amongst the mountainside like this. And from this angle you can see there's absolutely no stuttering. And here you can see the heat waves at the front of the plane, and just look at how smooth the turbulence is. It just adds so much to the immersion here. I'm using the arrows to highlight where you can look to see what I'm talking about more clearly. And this is why I stress that my settings aren't just aimed at pure visuals, and that's exactly why I don't push my settings too hard in VR, because I want to keep that immersion going in terms of getting the movement as realistic as possible. And in the next couple of shots, I just want to highlight the movement of the wing from this point of view. Not only that, I want to highlight the fact that the clouds and the weather look really realistic. And again, this just adds so much to the immersion. And here we are from the pilot's point of view. I'm just looking to my left, and again you can see the performance is almost perfect. There's absolutely no stutters, and the quality of the visuals is good enough for me. The contrasting clouds along with the vibrant landscapes make this region so special to fly around. Here you can even see a rainbow forming, which often adds that natural touch of magic. You can still see some blurring in the headset sometimes, and that's just my camera having a hard time with focusing. However, this is something I'm working towards improving. Since we're focusing on the idea of VR immersion, I thought I'd include a few shots of the window surfaces too. It's so easy to look past these details sometimes, but I really feel like these things do add up and add so much to that realism. And looking at the windows, the images of the landscapes are absolutely crystal clear. I would encourage you to try my settings in my setup video, which can be seen in the link above. What I'd advise you to do is start off with my settings and then work your way towards your sweet spot for your system, in terms of getting both high quality visuals as well as high quality performance. I do understand the limitations there are in VR at the moment, however I do feel like these videos represent my best settings so far, and in turn, my best performance so far. Just look at those clouds over those mountains, so much atmosphere. And here I am flying as a passenger, and I thought I'd just show you the interior of the plane, and you can see my head movements are absolutely smooth and clear, and you can see there's no stuttering and no artifacts. I actually like to fly as a passenger sometimes for the immersion. What I often try and do is recreate the passenger experience by grabbing a blanket and a pillow and just sitting in my seat, looking out the window with my VR headset on, as well as a good pair of headphones. I'll also use my AirPods underneath my headphones to play some music as if I was travelling for real. Along with the butt kicker engine vibrations, this becomes really realistic, especially when you lean your head against your seat and the headphone itself touches the seat, which then picks up the vibrations from the seat from the butt kicker, just like it would in real life. And that's what I call immersion. I highly recommend you try that and let me know how it goes. Here we are flying in the late afternoon sun. With this footage I just wanted to show you a different time of day. You can see how the sun highlights the mountaintops there. If I pause it here you can see that the river lacks a bit of detail still, but I'm hoping that rivers like this will be improved over time. And it still doesn't take anything away from the immersion for me. After looking through the lens and discussing various factors that make the immersion levels so good, let's jump into the flat VR recording and take a flight around this majestic area. Here I am in my TBM 930. I'm currently following the Maranon River towards Chagual Airport. As you may already know, this is a really tricky airport to land at, so I'll do my best to get a smooth landing. Here I'm using scattered showers as a weather setting, so I'm getting that nice contrast with the clouds, as well as the odd shower here and there. And as you can see here, everything's as smooth as can be. I'm flying very low as I approach the airport. I know I'm pushing it landing at Chagual Airport in a TBM 930, but it's a challenge I often like to accept. And you can see the landscape outside looks really similar to what we were looking at earlier through the VR lens. Everything's so contrasting and saturated, and it looks so realistic. But just as important, it's performing really well as well. That's the main thing. So I'm getting the combination we're all after, which is clear and smooth. I have heard some other YouTubers claim that you simply can't avoid microstutters if you're not using motion reprojection, which is simply not true. If you follow my settings and adjust accordingly, you should be able to get a similar kind of performance I'm getting here. If you're running a 2060, 70, 80 or 3070, I'm confident you can still get good performance in VR, which could be comparable to this. I know I'm running a 3080 with an i10 than 900k, but I was running this sim reliably using my 2060 Super 6 months ago. And since then everything's much better optimized, so you should have a lot more luck now if you were having problems before. So I definitely think it's worth checking out my settings video and trying to follow that to see how it goes. So here I am slowly approaching the airport. I'm just got to watch out and see exactly where I am, because I've got to make sure that I pull the gear down at the right time and make sure I get the right approach. This landscape is just absolutely stunning. I can't stop flying around this area. I've been exploring Colombia, Peru, Ecuador, Guatemala, Panama, Chile, and each country has got its own unique beauty. Although I've never been to these countries in reality, I feel like I've learned a lot about their geography by flying through them in the sim. That is another aspect about it that I love, is that I'm learning so much about the world. It really is the next best thing to travel. And you can hear the tapping of the rain on the windscreen, which is another thing that adds to the immersion. So here we are now coming towards a final approach. The airstrip is just in that valley ahead. I've just got to make sure I judge my speed right and use my flaps at the right time. It's quite a short runway for this TBM, so as soon as I touch down I'll be full on the brakes. Guys, I can't get over how immersive this is with the right setup. I'm actually not using my butt kicker right now, because if I record with it, you'll see the vibrations in the recording that come through the headset, and it'll make everything look blurry. So I stick to the butt kicker when I'm not recording. See, I'm keeping an eye on my speed as I approach the landing strip. It's a notoriously difficult runway to land at, so I hope I get this right. It's important that we come in from the right angle because we're so surrounded by mountains here, and I've got very limited manoeuvrability with this TBM at the moment. So I'm just gently managing my speed and trying to get a good landing for you guys, and hopefully nobody's freaking out. So here we've got the runway ahead of us. I'm just checking my speed again, and I'm constantly checking my surroundings and terrain levels. And now I'm going to line up the aircraft with the runway and guide you to a nice smooth landing.
500.
I must say this is probably my favourite location in the sim at the moment. I absolutely love this airport. And we're down. Not as smooth as I'd hoped, but it's safe nevertheless. I'll just turn off these warnings, and I'll taxi down to the end of the runway. Again, look, no stuttering whatsoever. There seems to be a plane ready to take off at the end of this runway, so he must have been waiting for me to land. That's awesome. So I'll just pull over to the right and let him go on his merry way. It looks like an airliner. He's going to have a really hard time getting out of here. He's going to have to turn right as soon as he clears that tree line behind me. After a tricky landing in this isolated airport, it's great to see another user online about to take off from it. Anyway guys, that's me done for the day. I'm going to walk up to that terminal now and find some coffee, relax and enjoy the rest of the day. I hope this video helped you guys get a breakdown of how immersive VR can be in the simulator, and I'm really keen to hear some other tips and tricks from you guys in terms of how you can add more immersion to the sim when you're flying. Also, I highly recommend coming to Chagual Airport for an immersive and somewhat nerve-wracking experience. Anyway guys, as always, I hope you like the content. Please like and subscribe if you do, and I look forward to making more videos soon. In the meantime, take care and stay safe.